Howdy. I got a bunch of photos I wanted to show you. Here is some environmental photograph with interesting clouds in the background. And bird person. And as you can see, there's snow on the ground. This is some 2 days ago. It's not much, but still. Had to go to the city, but fortunately there's also clouds in the city. So I have been watching this for some minutes. Nothing happened, it somehow dissipated. And some claim not to look up, so I looked down. And yeah, what to say? In the middle of the town, you just find these kind of things on the ground. So don't look down either. So where to look then? Maybe you want to get enlightened. Yeah, matches. It's the first time, I think, maybe I have ever seen that the matches have this blue color. And some time ago, a few weeks, I was somehow thinking, that's odd, that's strange. But now I learned that sulfur burns blue. So the blue color is quite related to the whole thing. And here it says European wood, Europahölzer. And if you turn it around, you will notice that they are made in India. All right. European woods made in India. So don't look at the backside either. Oh, Captain, my Captain. That's one branch which has a nice form, and I thought I'd probably try to make this kind of steering rod to the boat. And it seemed to be an interesting sky upcoming today, since we have these very interesting clouds. You know, very interesting. I took a little walk in the forest, and not only did I find repetitive patterns in a way, but also these kinds of things on random rocks in the forest. Erratic boulders, as they are called. That's a tree trunk, but here is a rock. There's like rocks everywhere under the moose. Is it moose? Maybe. Maybe there is a moose too somewhere. So now, after I have turned around this, obviously you can see where I started to peel off the flora from the stone. I wish I would have had a brush or water just to clean it better in order for you to see. And in order for me to see. But that's very interesting. So this kind of pattern is rather common here in this region. And I don't know how big this region is. Maybe it's not too big. And we have a yellow-red stone, which could mean that the yellow stuff is sulfur and the red stuff is sulfur. The yellow stuff is just basic sulfur, and the red stuff is burned or heated sulfur. Which would indicate that we probably would have copper in this rock. And furthermore, we have more of these patterns. They're like everywhere. It's really interesting. Food for scale. We have a quartz vein, or somewhat of a quartz vein, which goes very straight. And here on the left there's again one of these features. There might be many, 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 many more. Because if you walk around there, yeah, there's another one with a huge one. And it has also different kind of colorations. We have red and we have yellow. And I don't know, for me it's really hard to imagine that plate tectonics would do something like that. There, somewhere in the background, you see the lake. Here is a shore somewhere. And it's still partially frozen, obviously. And here we have this kind of a horseshoe shape. Maybe I want to go back to that once then when I have a little bit more time. And I'm alone, it's a little bit easier to check things out. Because if you are on the move with kids in such an environment, it's rather dangerous. Or in a way, it's all just, it's a pile of rubble basically, the whole area, which is just overgrown with all kind of mosses and stuff. So you really have to be careful when you walk there, because you can somehow crash through the ground between the rocks. Even though it might seem that you can really stand on it, it doesn't necessarily is so. And this is one of the bigger boulders there in the region, which is not covered by everything. That's also for scale also. I don't know if you can see it. There is this kind of elevated feature on the rock. And there is different kind of moss growing there. And this is kind of a miniature environment. Just this one little spot there. And I was thinking, is there a possibility that there could be some kind of a water well or something, some kind of a connection to water beneath? Because that's really moisture. That's really moist. And that's why I think there is this kind of different vegetation growing on this very little spot here. And every now and then I still look up and there's like interesting clouds all over the place. And there is this kind of horizontal feature with these perpendicular features to it. But also, of course, you can see the upper cloud, which has certain layering going on. Yeah, and later on, took some stones, which looked interesting. And that's the same stone from a little bit different angle. And after it has spent some time in the microwave, if it looked like that, it's black burned. Like we have seen on many sites, geological sites, where you can see somehow, like for example, mining operation, the top layer is somehow darker than the lower layers. Maybe it just got burned, And I cracked it open, and this is the inside of it. So I don't know how it looked before I put it in the microwave. Interesting. And then I looked up again, and there has been this kind of color thing in the sky. Probably a partial halo. And you can see it's where there are no clouds, basically. So I think this is much higher up than the clouds we can see. A rather strongly enhanced picture. There's no colors anymore, but you can still see the glow or whatever. And I've been talking about this kind of volcanic plasma phenomena some time ago. Every now and then I talk about these. And these are just a few examples. I think I try to show basically from the volcano Agung in Indonesia. That's a screenshot from a live stream. I couldn't find any live stream at the moment. I would have put a link below. But nonetheless, there's something going on there. And since it was a live stream, I had several screenshots of the same thing. So I saw them moving. That's a very strong enhanced screenshot from the same thing we just watched. There's some other things which are not visible here. Basically, they are visible. There's something. Like it's not only that thing, there's like more stuff. And also here, not too well visible. Enhanced, there is some structure coming to it. Still more enhancing. And it looks like this. I don't think I made any further enhancements because this looks already rather pixelated. And there's yet another thing that is shoot off to the left and to the right. So the volcanoes here on the right side. And that's the same thing enhanced. And that's now Fuego. Fuego, which is rather active at the moment. This is some time ago. That's also from a live stream. And I figured out if I do like this, we have this kind of a time lapse. So there is only this in the beginning. And then it starts to glow and it gets bigger. It might be a different day, but it's almost at the same location all the time. Then they shoot off. And I think those things I captured from the Agung volcano, they're something similar, like those streamers I call them, which are shooting off like in rather high speed upwards. Now here you can see how they are leaving. Can you zoom in and do the same trick? Yes, check it out. No, we can't. But anyway, let's go back to Agung. Let's search some pictures from Agung. Here you can see, like here on the right side, how this really accelerates. And here we have a cloud at the same place. Yeah, actually, check it out. Same position as some plasmoid phenomena. And then we go to Semeru Vulcano. Obviously, you can see here there's some kind of streak. And then we have this thing here. Yeah, very strongly enhanced. Check it out. And it has a tail. Semeru Vulcano. And I think this could be also from Fuego. But I captured these kind of things. There might be a second one here. I'm not too sure if that's Semeru, Merapi, or Fuego, but some volcano. Obviously, here to the right we have an eruption going on. And the reason why I show you all that stuff is because I was watching yesterday windy webcams because I thought maybe I see something like, the clouds which are hanging on top of mountains and stuff like that. Yes, I have seen them also, but in Malcantone es en Maddalena Puntamento, southwest. Yesterday evening, I think I saw that thing. And somehow this reminded me of this. I think it's Agung still, where I spotted these kind of things. And maybe some of you remember this big red globe over Italy some time ago. There was a little bit of fuss about that. And I don't know, I didn't really have time to dive into this more, but that's the webcam picture. And it in a way has similarities to the thing on the volcano. And I was just thinking, is there some strong energy exchange going on here? So I made some enhancements. I don't know if this helps any. But at least I tried. Because the webcam camera quality isn't that good. But I was amazed to see something like that. And somehow it seems that it has lines which are going here. But anyway, watching windy is sometimes rather interesting. Yes, I think I'll leave it here. Thanks. Bye.